Hi. Well, we're back to part two of the labor studies, Labor in America, LS04, spring of 2015 course. And I want to go over, you can see as you go to the page, and the best thing for you to do when you're watching this is have the page open. You should have gone there to find out this link, so keep the page open while you go through this conversation with me, or this dialogue, or this. Oh, well, I'm talking to myself, but I'm hoping you're listening. Here we go. Under students, there's information there for those people who are not that familiar with labor education or that familiar with Moodle particularly. You want to go to the student help desk. You can get information. You can get help from the Moodle systems person. You can also you need to look at your LACCD mail. The best thing for you to do with your email, and I'm sorry if I'm talking too quickly, the New Jersey still comes out. The best thing to do with your email is to connect your LACCD student email to your personal email. Then you won't have to check two. So every message that goes out to you from me or from the college goes to your LACCD email. But if you connect that to your home email, it'll go right to there and you won't have to do double checking. I'm looking at the class page on my mini pad, so if I keep on looking away, that's the reason why. There's a student lounge on there where you can go in and leave chat messages for one another. There's also a Moodle self-help and practice shell. Now, here's the thing I want to do. I want to talk to you for just a second about preparation. If you have not taken Moodle classes or have only taken one and had some problems with them, you need to do this Moodle orientation and self-preparation, because telling me in week 5 or in week 8, gee whiz, this is my first class and that's why I've had so much trouble and that's why I'm behind so much, is not going to do you any good. I cannot walk you through it. Now, on top of that, I will say, if you come to the office hour, which is Wednesday evening from 5:30 to 6:30 on the phone, so it's an 88 number, you call in. I'm there for that hour. If you call in and you have your computer up, we can sit there together on different phones, not ever seeing each other, but talking to each other. And I can walk you through some of the difficulties so that you get a little bit of tutoring about how to use Moodle. But it's imperative that you know how to do this, because you will not pass the class if you don't know how to upload or how to go to a forum, open it up, and put your response in it. I don't want you attaching words to it, because then everybody's got to download it. So you need to know how to use Moodle. Okay, that's the first thing onto that. So then there's a news forum. The news forum is just new things that I post. I put it up there if it's information about the college or something that I think you might be interested in that is not directly a student assignment. Then you will see in bright red, required responses from all students. You must fill these out before you can go on any further. The first one is you have to sign the academic honesty and other technology policies agreement. That means you're not going to cheat. In other words, no plagiarism. And if you don't know what plagiarism is, somewhere on the page I have the definition. But no cheating, no going to a web page and copying and then pasting it in and putting your name. The simple thing about that is if it looks like you've done that, I just have to copy and paste myself, put it back into Google, and it goes and it finds the page where you copied it from. That is cheating. That is a cause for a 0 in my class, and it can also be a cause for expulsion from the college. So don't do that to yourself. It's not worth it. Okay, next is the reasonable accommodations. You must do this. This is just checking off whether you do or you do not need accommodations. Primarily accommodations for students on an online class might be subtitling, if they have a hearing issue. So please let me know. And there is the disabilities number, phone number, and location at the college is listed on the page. Then you have the new LACCD student email, so they can show you how you have to change your email from an old one to the new one, then link it. So you'll have some fun. Then you have a union survey assignment. I'm clicking on that right now to see exactly what it asks you so I can tell you what I'd like you to do with that. With this is primarily for the department because we like to know who our students are and are they union related. At one time, the only people who took labor studies classes were union members. So here it is. Are you a union member? Yes or no? That's it. Number 2, which union? Give us the name of the union and your local, or write not in a union. Now, if you're in local 1776, I need to know what international union that is. So is that Service Employees International Union, Communication Workers Union, the Teamsters Union? So do check that out, and it's good for you to know. And the other thing is if you're not a union member, but maybe someone in your family has been, just put not a union member, mother is a member of the United Postal Workers Union, or father is a member of the teachers union, or bada dada dada, whatever. Number 3, have you attended labor studies classes before? Yes and or no. Not yes and or no, yes or no. And then put which ones, just for our edification. And that's all you need to do for that. All right, so we can go back up here, and I don't know if you can see this. This is my, no, it doesn't come out very well. Yes, it does. You can go back up here, and whenever you tap right there, it takes you back to the front page. So on this front page now, I'm scrolling down, and my mini pad goes slow, but I'm scrolling down because I want to go on to the next things. There's like 2 or 3 segments for the first week. So the first week, we're talking about course information. And you won't have any assignments. Well, you will have assignments. They won't be the ones you'll be having the rest of the semester, but they are assignments that must be completed. Now, the class starts on Sunday, even though we start this week on the 8th, and it ends on Saturday night at 11 p.m. So you must get your work done then. All right, so we're going to go through here. Let's look at the warnings because that's a big thing. All right, it's in red so you can look at it. Warnings. Assignment sent via text must be reread prior to hitting the send button. Now, can you imagine why? Because you might say, I went to the store and bought milk and it comes out I got a bunch of silk. I need to have it correct because you're going to get things marked off if the work is incorrect because of the pronunciation or the understanding of your mobile device. Number 2, you will receive no credit if there are more than 3 spelling errors within an assignment. So every single thing, including your texting, tells you if the word is spelt right or wrong. And when you see that it's the wrong word, you just click on it and you type in the right word. So it's not a difficult thing to do. So if you have spelling mistakes in this day and age, it means that you're just being lazy. You can always check. And with dictionaries available online, if you can't find a word, you go to a dictionary online and look it up. All right, 3 absences. They don't have to be consecutive absences. You can be absent the second week, the 4th week. If you're absent on the 10th week, you're out of the class. 3 absences and you are not in the class. Let me specify that if you do not show up the first week, you are out of the class. When you have an absence because of an emergency, if you're having a baby, if you're moving, if you've been ill in the hospital, or if you're a union member and you're organizing in Iowa and you can't get to the computer, send me a message. There's a message link on the right-hand side of the page. You just click on messages, click on my picture, send me a message. Ms. Maffei, Gosha, Professor, whichever you want to call me. Gosha is fine with me, but all the others are acceptable. You send me a message and say, I'm sick, I'm in the hospital, or I'm going to be in the hospital. You can have somebody in your family call the labor studies office and leave a message if you can't get to it to yourself. So there's no excuse for you to be absent without notifying me if you want to remain in the class. Now, number 4, Wikipedia is not a reference. You may use it to stimulate your thinking, to give you ideas where else to research, but if you quote Wikipedia in anything, you will not get credit for it. So do not use that. use it for other things. Plagiarism will result in a 0 grade. 0. And that is the definition of plagiarism is a practice of taking someone else's work or ideas and passing them off as your own. Moving down, you see I have a little video of Pete Seeger singing Talking Union and the words to some of the song. You don't have to listen to the words to the song. You don't have to even listen to the song, but it's just helpful. He was and has been one of the biggest icons we've ever had in the labor union singing. So, and labor union songs have always been a big thing with unionists. Next, you'll see textbooks and helpful books to read. I've got on there the textbook is Why Unions Matter by Michael D. Yates. It is in the bookstore. You can order it online. You can go through Union Communications, which I would prefer because it is a union organization selling union books. You can get things, but you want the second edition, and that is in bold there. So second edition. And then if you noticed, I have scanned chapter 1 and chapter 2 so that you can, if you don't get your book in time, you cannot have an excuse that you couldn't read the work. All right. Then recommended reading is A Lexicon of Labor by R. Emmett Murray. It's a great book for understanding anything, any word in the labor union movement, from the Ludlow strike to the AFL-CIO to grievance handling. Everything is in this book. So it's a wonderful book to have as a reference. Also, Howard Zinn's The People's History of the United States. Fabulous book to give you ideas from people's mouths themselves about what they went through. And it's people that don't normally get credit. So we're talking about the Native Americans. We're talking about the Chinese who built the railroads. We're talking about the Filipinos who worked in the farm workers. We're talking about teachers. We're talking about young Latvians working in the mills. We're talking about all different kinds of people that we don't usually know contributed. It's a great book. Next, you see there's office hours. My office hours are on the phone only. There is no person-to-person meeting in this class. So it is on the phone every week from 6:30 to 7:30. And these hours are online, but always by phone. Let me see. I want to make sure that that's correct. Office hour information. I'm clicking on it. Anytime you see anything, if you just tap on it, it'll go to the page. So it is 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. And that is when I will be available. You can call up and say, I don't understand this particular topic, or I don't know how to open up something, and I will help you. But please do that in the first 2 weeks. I do not want to be dealing with issues of I don't know how. Well, you won't be passing if you do. I'm going to go to office hour schedule. Again, I want to make sure it's the right time. And correctamento, it's 5:30 to 6:30. So the office hours are 5:30 to 6:30, period. I will correct that on the page. You'll never know. Now you will, because I've done this. I'll have to edit this. Thank you.